Hello everyone, welcome back to another video. This is Greg with KillerReviews.com, and we're getting lots of subscribers lately, about 20 to 30 a month, which is awesome. So I want to thank everybody for leaving comments and hitting me up on Twitter and Facebook and stuff, commenting on the videos I've been doing. So today we're talking about the movie Whiplash. And I heard about this for the first time, on the Howard Stern show, actually. They were talking about the movie, Howard and Robin, and how much they love the movie. And as usual, when I hear stuff like this, I look it up immediately, check it out. And the cast, phenomenal. And music, and I'm like, oh, I think this is actually something I'd like to see. But this was months ago, and it was in limited theaters. I didn't catch it. Nothing around here was playing it, so I just kind of put it on the back burner. And then Golden Globe nominations come around, and Whiplash, pops up, and I'm like, oh right, that movie, that music movie that everybody's talking about. And then the Academy Awards happen, and J.K. is it Simmons? J.K. Simmons wins Best Supporting Actor. And sure enough, I'm checking my Xfinity Comcast lineup on demand, and there it is, Whiplash for $5.99 HD. So I was in a great mood before watching this. It was a lazy Sunday. I was watching movies, playing video games, and I put this movie on around 7 o'clock at night. I'm in a great mood, just had a good dinner. And I'm like, oh right, Whiplash, awesome. Here we go. So I'm watching it, and it's everything that I thought it would be. And I was surprised, in a way, I guess, by how, the music end of it is so accurate, and watching all the musicians play their instruments, and I play guitar, some piano. Guitar is my main instrument, but I play a little bit of everything. I played trombone in high school. I'm nowhere near, for guitar I'm pretty good, but I'm nowhere near anything else, anywhere near on the planet of the people that would be playing in that band. And probably guitar, not even the same. But Miles Teller, is a real drummer, probably. I guess, and that's probably obvious to everybody watching this video. But I was really surprised how much actual drumming he plays in the movie. And there's so much content of him playing drums, and it's just extremely in-depth movie when it comes to the world of music. Whenever something is so specific, besides sports, I guess, it kind of surprises me that we get such a large audience. The director, from what I understand, wrote and directed the movie. Based on a novel, I could be incorrect. I didn't do a ton of research for this movie. I didn't want it to be like a lesson about the movie. I just wanted to give you my thoughts on the movie. But superbly directed. I don't believe this guy has much experience directing. I don't know. He doesn't have a long list of movies. And I can't believe it's as good as it is. The editing, I'll have to go back and see if editing won. Editing and sound design, I have to see if they won awards for those, because I would think so. The editing was unbelievable. But yeah, musically, it is so cool to listen to the conductor talk about the different time signatures and when to come in on the upbeat, on the third beat of the measure, and there's stuff like that where I'm listening to to J.K. Simmons, and he's like, start here, blah blah blah, and I'm thinking oh my god, that is so hard to do. Reading music is quite hard when you're reading it for the first time. That's why people, practice it and learn it, because sight reading that type of music is extremely hard. Unless you've been doing it for 25 years, I guess. But Yeah, I was really impressed especially by I mean, obviously by the drumming. Like, the drumming is so interesting. I'm not a drummer. I'm like the worst drummer. I've tried to play drums before. My brother's a drummer. My brother's an awesome drummer. But mad respect. Like, it's and you know what too? Like, I really liked looking at the jazz end of the music. A buddy of mine in high school, an amazing drummer, went to Allstate. He's a working studio drummer now. He was really big into that type of jazz drumming, and I'd always be like, dude, like, you only have 3 drums, like, because I grew up when the drummers had like 50 drums, you know, two. I mean, like, and I'm like, where's the rest of your? I remember, I'll never forget, like, he was a big Dream Theater fan, and he had all these, you know, the 2 bass drums and 4 toms and a floor tom and, you know, rat-a-tat toms, whatever those things are called, rat-a-tat-tooey, and then his drum set was just like 3 drums. And I'm like, where's your drum set? But I mean, that's what this movie's like. You know what I mean? It's really interesting to look into that world. I thought that was phenomenal. Miles Teller, I've been watching him for a couple years. I watched The Rabbit Hole with him a while back, and he's always been really interesting to me. I think he's extremely natural on film, and I'd love to see more stuff from this kid. He's just something, I love watching him. There's just something about, he's just so natural. And, you know, he's like one of those characters that, one of those actors that he doesn't really, like, physically, like, so few actors can actually look exactly the same from movie to movie, but you actually feel like they're the character in the movie, but nothing visually has changed. That is the best acting, in my opinion. I love the girlfriend conversation he has. You know, he starts dating a girl, and then at lunch he's like, "I have to break up with you because," and he goes down like this little monologue. He's like, you know, he goes, "I have to practice a lot, you know, for what I want to accomplish. And the more I do that, the less I'll be able to see you. Then you start getting mad because I can't see you. Then you'll resent me. Then we'll see each other a lot less, and then you'll just hate me. So we should probably, you know, and she, you know, she's like, so you think that I don't understand what your goals are, and that I'm just gonna, like, take away all your dreams?" And he's like, "Yeah, pretty much, yeah." And I'm a very bitter person when it comes to females and dating. Like, I have heard so many times, like, "You would rather do that than hang out with me," you know, that type of thing. And I get that he's being an asshole. I get that. But at the same time, that's what he has to focus on, you know, and she will want more time. As she should, because they're in a relationship. But I just thought that scene was really, really funny. And what about Paul Reiser? Like, where have you been, buddy? Paul Reiser. I grew up with Paul Reiser. I loved Paul Reiser. Bye Bye Love. Are you kidding me? I'm trying to think of, like, other movies he's in, and I'm like, ah. But seriously, I really, really liked Paul Reiser. I mean, Diner. I mean, I grew up with this guy, watching him in a lot of movies in the 80s, and he just goes away. Obviously, he's doing stuff, I guess, maybe writing or some stand-up here and there. I did see him in a movie, but he played a really small part in a movie, which I can't think of right now. But it was awesome to see Paul Reiser. I mean, like, where have you been, buddy? More Paul Reiser, please. And lastly, I mean, I just want to say, and I won't, I mean, I assume you've seen the movie, that's why you're watching this, but the last scene in Whiplash, like, I was really surprised. I didn't know where the movie was going to go. I had no idea. Like, I just knew it was about this drummer and this asshole teacher, right? I had no idea, like halfway through the movie, when Miles quits the band, what was going to happen. I had no clue. And the whole twist at the end, when he was on stage, that was awesome. But when he walks back onto the stage after hugging his dad, and he's like, "Alright, you want to fucking go? Let's go." And it was awesome. Like, literally, I'm watching it, and, you know, and he's, like, drumming, and he's, like, you know, fuck you to the guy, you know? This is me drumming. You know, fuck you. And then the guy comes over, you know, J.K. Simmons, he goes, I'm gonna skull fuck you. And then he, like, hits the cymbal, you know, so it, like, hits up in the guy's face. They're going at it, but at the same time, like, they're keeping the music going. And then, of course, when Miles does the big drum part at the end, and, you know, J.K. comes over to him, and he's like, you know, slow it down, and, you know, speed it up, speed it up, speed it up. And then, you know, like, he found his, I forget the drummer they referenced in the movie as the great drummer, but these two these two characters have so much respect for each other, and I don't think that J.K. Simmons' character really has had, I mean, I have no idea, I'm guessing, has ever had anybody, like, step up to him and challenge him, you know, and say, fuck you, you're wrong, you know? And to see those two go at it, but at the same time, like, have mutual respect for each other's talent, and one's like 50, 60, probably, like, you know, whatever, one's older, one's in college. It was a really cool chemistry to see back and forth. I watched, you know, it's like the next day, because my rental was 2 days. The next day, I watched the ending again, and it was just as awesome. And, you know, like, there's a shot where, you know, Miles is doing the drums, and it goes really quiet, and you just see, like, in slow motion, like, him hitting the ride cymbal, and the sweat on the cymbal, his ear, his shirt, and then, you know, the sound fades back in, and then he finally nails the part, and, you know, phenomenal. The only negative thing I have to say is, like, I wanted more of of Miles, like, growing as a person. I don't know, like, not much happened with him. I mean, I guess it just, like, he becomes the drummer that, you know, he always wants to be. I get that. But I don't know, like, emotionally, I didn't feel like I ended the movie. I guess I wanted more. Like maybe, like, I wanted a final scene at the end. You know, like between the teacher and Miles, maybe his dad. It's cool when his dad, Paul Reiser, was, like, looking at him playing drums, like, oh my god, I can't believe you're this good. That was cool. But at the end, I kind of wanted, like, a closure scene. And, but that's just not what it is. But that's just what I want. But, I can't recommend Whiplash enough. It was, you know, to get that, to see a movie that is so hyped up, like a movie like Whiplash, for months. You got to see this. You got to see this. And for me being that excited going into it, thinking it would be awesome, and to come out saying it was awesome. That's fucking awesome. And I still think about it, like, throughout the day. It's been like 3 days since I've seen it. And throughout the day, I'll be, like, just doing dishes, and it pops in my head, like that last scene or something. You know, it's a film that sticks with you. Awesome. Awesome movie. So that's Whiplash. I would give that a very solid 4 out of 5. Maybe a 4.5 out of 5. You know? I'll give it a 4. It wasn't epic enough for me. It wasn't like an Inception. I didn't cry. It didn't move me, I guess, as much as I wanted it to, but it was a really solid, awesome movie. So, thumbs up from killerreviews.com. That's Whiplash. Check out the Killer Reviews podcast, and check me out on twitch.tv. I stream video games. It's twitch.tv/killerreviews. And the Killer Reviews podcast is recorded about 3 times a month. It's available everywhere. So check that out. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to subscribe. Bye.